check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. I'm in a place serene and pure and free. Hey, I ain't worried about what's the wave, only worry about me, yeah. Oh, I'm taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. Taking just be. Don't take it. Taking just don't be and live my life. Don't take it personal. I ain't lying. I ain't hiding. I've been grinding, multiplying. I've been trying to get my weight up, staying prayed up, meditating and taking time away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. Hey. Taking just don't be and live my life. Don't take it personal. We just building. It's my season. Lay foundation. Make a name for generations. Please and make a and take a break or a little vacation and chasing blues away. Hey, hey. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning or look like you always be working, soaking the moments you live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. I'm in a place serene and pure and free. Hey, I ain't worried about what's the wave, only worry about me, yeah. Oh, I'm taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life.
Okay,
Taking just be.
camera up. I'm coming. I'm really trying to get Teddy to like stop barking. I'm home. I'm back. You say who? This is what's her name? Oh God, what is this? She got so many songs out, sweetheart. Let me see if I can get her name up for you. Hold up a second. God, sis something, sister Hades, sister Hades, taking time out for me. Shout out to her, but she got so many nice hits out. It's crazy. Um, whew, I need to woosah, y'all. Woosah. Got everything taken care of. Now I just got to get ready for work. I'm dressed down. Excuse me, my day off. So had thrown my little sweater. That Shannon, you was in the bushes earlier. Half sleep. Wake your butt up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I thought, I was riding. I was thinking, you know what? Why not? Let's read over the complaint and demand. At this moment, I believe that there's quite a few people live, but I can't worry about that. I gotta, I want to run my show as well, so the replay will be available to those that missed the reading of this. I know I said I want to come on and kind of do the books, but I think since everybody is running with this, and we have not really heard it verbatim from the actual horse's mouth. We've been getting bits and pieces of people's opinions and, their thoughts of what was said, what should happen after the court proceedings between Cardi B and Tasha K. So Tasha K right now has a preview going right now. It's an old video of when she did do an interview with another person, and she, I think, is just trying to show everybody how she does her shows, and she's not this person that everybody is insinuating or making her out to be. I think that that's what a lot of the previews is coming up, and then I think she may be coming live tonight, but I'll have to catch that on the replay because I was like, you know what? Let's actually read, what was said on the complaint and demand. What actually brought those two together in the court of law. So, okay, go ahead, Priscilla. Go ahead, babe. Go ahead. We'll have 15 minutes. I'm getting the exact name of the song for Queen over here. I'm looking over here because I'm on the other screen. So, but I know it's Hades taking time out for me, which I absolutely love, especially when you got to do a quick switch. Hey, Pooh. You go take some time out for you. Living my life off screen. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's like, whoop, 2 days, 3 days off of here. Take some time out for me. So that's who sings that one. Queen. Yeah, King Sis. Cause she has a lot of them. Switch up the vibe. There's a lot of them. I love this program here with all this music so that I don't get a copyright ID claim. So I'm pretty safe with this one over here. And today happened to be one of those days, right? Because I was checking my account, and like I say, I had to pay for all of this stuff. I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, 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 $20, $20. And then, of course, my McAfee annual protection for my system came through too. $137 for the year. I was like, ooh, ooh. I felt like bullet wounds today. Bullet wounds because my phone just kept in, and it wasn't no pluses. It was all minuses. And I was like, oh my God. The show is dark in there, boo. Don't start. Don't you start. We ain't even got into the show, and your girl ain't even here yet. She ain't even here yet. So, but it's Hades, Hatus. Yes. King Sis. Yes, she be jamming. So let me play this one right here until I'll give it a little bit more time for to see if anybody else is going to fall in before I give everybody a shout out for being here today. I hope that everyone is okay with the commentary. And I did say earlier that I was going to kind of pick up with the books, right? That we left off in the middle of, but I'm going to hold that off for Saturday. I'm going to hold it off for Saturday and spend about 2-3 hours, and we're going to complete probably the Jane Doe book on Saturday. I know that Kelly's other book is we still had a ways to go. So That one I may hold off until the following Saturday. So, but yeah, I was like, well, everybody else will do. Did y'all catch the Q&A with Dennis and what's his name? Dennis Byron and Greg, what's his name? Attorney Griggs. Did y'all catch that one? I was like, oh, okay. It's mighty funny to me. I ain't throwing no shade or nothing like that, right? But it's mighty funny to me how in this circle right here, right? Just you know what I mean? Like this circumvents right here. Is it that tiny that it seems like everybody that appeared throughout Mr. Kelly's like trial is the only people that is associated like either with the interviewee or the interviewer. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't seem like weird to y'all. Like out of all of the attorneys and everything out here, right? And I was like, but he did. Is the sound okay, you guys? Are we okay with the sound? It actually sounds pretty good, right? It sounds okay. I'm bringing the mic down a little bit, but I was like, but Dennis, he did the whole, well, most of it, I believe, of Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's trial, right? And I was like, wow, how easy is it for them? My mom is calling me, y'all. Ain't this some crippity crap? Oh my God, can't catch a break. My phone be ringing. What up, APZ? And I'm like, out of like all of the people to actually interview, I don't know, maybe Jaranka, whatever her name, like there's nobody else to reach out to except for the people that was, involved in Mr. Kelly's, situation. I'm like, this is how freaking I like. I find it weird. I don't know about you guys. I find it, I don't know, like uncomfortably weird. Like, what was the odds of him, who also spent time in New York, uh, down there, filming and recording and interviewing things about Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, and he also did his show. And I get it, journalists is usually all over the place. But just how ironic it was to have Attorney Griggs, who is involved with being an attorney for the Savages. And, it's like, okay. But then I was like, well, I guess you got to keep people close to home front. You know what I mean? Because that would make it a lot easier for him as well to be able to conduct an interview if the time comes with the Savages, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Once the ball jumps back over to the court, other side of the court, where the attention is now back on Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, with the everyone waiting for the Chicago hearing, trial, whatever you want to call it. But my understanding, it's been pushed back probably till August, I think. I would verify that, but I've been lurking on Pacer. I tap on it here and there. You just got to be careful with Pacer, because there's a fee with that, So I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to grab no $500 out my account. That just ain't gonna happen. So I got to be pieces, just a little bit at a time, so it don't kill you. Your finances just for trying to bring commentary. You have to stay balanced with it, right? Because I have a lot of stuff over here that is has to be accounted for by the end of the month, and that's going to happen over YouTube. I'm sorry, it's gonna happen. But this was 30 pages that I had to print out. So, and normally I guess they'll bill you quarterly or annually. I'm not quite sure. I know I somewhere paid for January, February, or something like that. And it wasn't too much because I didn't gripe about it. I really didn't know. It was probably some pennies or what. You say he's connected to Cash Howard. Who is the dentist journalist? The dentist journalist? I don't know. I just found it weird. I found it awkward. Like, because at some point you got to make up your mind. Be like,
I can't touch y'all right now because insinuation is a mental virus. We start to thinking like I'm doing right now. Like out of all of these people out here, you can only come up with you know Griggs, eh, huh? And then to hear Griggs speak the way he done, and with knowing that there were some things that he had did that became uncertainty about his situation with Mr. Kelly. Hold on one second, you guys. Hold on, I gotta find how to hello. Yeah, three, two. All right. All right. Bye bye. So okay, it's quarterly, right? But like I said, the when I was pulling some of Mr. Kelly's information, I mustn't do too bad to myself because I didn't feel that pain at all. But I don't know. I just thought it was awkward, Queen. I really thought it was awkward. It's like interesting, but whatever, right? So I am going to do this. You said that's why he's fighting. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It just, I don't know. Like I remember Griggs, but I don't know if I can pull that up. Let me see if I can pull up his. I'm bad at showing it on my screen, that's especially when I'm on Streamlabs, but I'll give it a try. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Come on, come on. His interview that he had. Well, I guess it wasn't an interview. So, and the things that he was saying, with pertaining Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly, and it was like, well, he did this, he knew for a fact of this, and he knew for a fact of that, but it was really awkward. Okay, I'm cycling over here, so we'll give it a second. You was waiting for the Griggs store rear his head to rear his head. I don't know. Hey Keish, I don't know. You just get that funny feeling, that funny vibe. Like hold up. How shouldn't you be sitting back as well, waiting to see what's gonna happen with because you're representing some people that is involved in like another case, just in case you may end up saying something that is so contradicting to what you may have said in your defense for the savages. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. Wasn't he the one that said the need to check? Yes, that's him. That's why I was trying to see if I can find that video, but I'm not sure, but I'll give it a try. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. I was like, huh? And when I'm like, well, Dennis, he know. I'm sure he probably seen that, right? Seen that video. I'd have been like, hold up, since we got you here, this would be a perfect time to ask you, what did you exactly mean by change up the narrative? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'd have been like. Hold up, I don't know how they're coming through because I swear I have this set on subscribers only to this is him in the NAACP. He did an interview here on the NAACP. Attorney Griggs reacts to the R. Kelly verdict. I don't know what that one is. Let me see what this one is. If this was him. I got so much junk on my freaking desk, y'all. My bills laid out over there. I got junk food over here. I got shit every damn where. I got to clean this up.
See, I stopped watching it after he had came on. I actually kind of stopped watching it. Let me see. Let me see what he had to say.
Sexual, physical, and emotional abuse have responded to the verdict online, while others have remained silent. With me is criminal defense attorney and vice president of the Atlanta chapter of the NAACP, Gerald Griggs, who also represents the family of Jocelyn Savage, one of the young women allegedly abused by R. Kelly. Gerald, Kelly has been convicted, but his legal troubles are far from over, so let's discuss. How did the Savage family react to the guilty verdict?
It was a lot of emotion by the family and by other survivors. Of course, was relief. There was still grief for all the pain that's been caused, but there was a sigh of relief that justice is in the process, and it started with that verdict in the Eastern District of New York.
Now, through the evidence presented in court, Gerald, we definitely learned a great deal more about Kelly's abuse, but we've known that he was a sexual predator before Monday's verdict, but Kelly's been able to hide basically in plain sight for decades, even getting acquitted when he was tried in 2008. Were the Savages ever doubtful that he would ever be held accountable?
No, they were never doubtful.
Oh, okay.
Again, the Savages have been on this journey since 2017. They had met many of the accusers. They had helped to collect many of the witnesses. And so they knew that at least 11 accusers would testify. There are far more. And they were confident in the evidence that the Eastern District of New York had, that Homeland Security had gathered. And of course, they are even more confident in the Northern District of Illinois and the other cases.
Now, Jocelyn wasn't one of the named accusers in this case, but do they feel they've been vindicated in some way?
Absolutely, they feel they've been vindicated. One of the named accusers and the testifiers in the case actually brought up some of the abuse that was suffered at the hands of R. Kelly while Joycelyn was there and while Joycelyn probably witnessed it and was abused herself, allegedly. So they were vindicated by everything that they've said, and they continue to focus on reuniting with their lovely daughter, who they want to continue that loving relationship. So they were definitely vindicated by the evidence.
Okay, so you said they're looking forward to being reunited with her. Are her parents in communication with their daughter at least?
They have been in communication as recently as a month ago, but not direct, consistent contact that's face-to-face, what they've been demanding since 2017.
So they haven't talked to her since the actual verdict?
No, they have not spoken directly to her since the verdict. They are respecting her distance right now, but they want to make sure she understands that now Mr. Kelly has been removed from the picture. It's time to rekindle that loving relationship, and they are ready, willing, and able to, with open arms, to welcome her back to the family.
Gerald, do you think more accusers will be encouraged to come forward now that he's been convicted?
I definitely think so. I think that women have been empowered. I think young men have been empowered. This victimization has been going on for almost 30 years, and it was going on in silence. It was being enabled. It was being allowed to happen in plain sight. So I think this particular verdict, handed down by 7 men and 5 women, allowed us to see into what this criminal enterprise looked like, how it was facilitated, and ultimately how it was brought to justice.
Now, Kelly's days in court, they're not over. He still faces 2 upcoming state trials, a federal trial. People have asked why these other trials are even necessary. You know, if Kelly could be in prison for the rest of his life on the charges he was just convicted for, then why is it important to pursue him on these other charges? Tell the viewers why it's important to still pursue Kelly on these other charges.
Again, there were more victims, there were more survivors. This was just the tip of the iceberg. We always considered the Eastern District of New York a strong case, but it was not the strongest case. It didn't include all of the survivors. So that's why the Northern District of Illinois is important. That's why Cook County is important. That's why Minnesota is important. Mr. Kelly must be brought to justice for all of his crimes, not just the RICO conspiracy and violation of the Mann Act. We're talking about child pornography. We're talking about aggravated child sex assault. We're talking about all kinds of crimes that happen under this 25-year reign. So it's important that he be brought to justice. All of the survivors get their opportunity to testify in court and, of course, be cross examined. And, of course, Mr. Kelly received due process, but ultimately he needs to be brought to justice, and that's why these other cases are necessary.
He said 25 victims.
And to also be able to give these other accusers their day in court as well. All right, let me get your thoughts on another case that you're close to. We're less than a month away from the state murder trial of the three men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery. This case has been riddled with corruption from the start, which resulted in criminal charges being filed against the former DA earlier this month. Between now and the trial date, there's always this back and forth between both sides about what evidence
Okay,
can be
that one
produced,
is
other
about
pretrial matter.
Ahmaud Arbery, so I didn't want to go that far. But this is this guy that he's dealing with a case, and he's president of what, NAACP or something. But to see him on, there goes with my echo. So hold on, that should take care of it in a second. To see him just be up there besides Dennis, I, I was like, what? Oh, okay. It's just kind of weird that how these people have their certain batch of people that they reach out to have some commentary with or their Q&As with. It was weird. But that's just me. That's just me. Okay. Now, I was doing good without an echo, so let me see where it's at. Probably because this page is open over here. But I don't know, y'all. Felt weird to me. Felt weird to me. Let me see. We have another one that I can probably play. You guys remember him on this one, right? I do not own the rights to this video.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl, the Sky Zone. Guys, I decided to redo this video here because
this video is to Sky Zone, so I have to give shout out to Sky Zone, you guys.
A do-over of the information from that footage.
Any smart lawyer, any lawyer that's credible, and I'm not saying she's not, but any lawyer that's credible will give you their name, their first and last name, and a contact. That's all she had to give me. She would not even look at me herself. Remember, Rob only trusts women. She had a woman attorney. Only reason why he got a male attorney, my attorney will answer that. The only reason why, because he's forced in that situation. So we get there. I'm sitting outside. Me and John, I said, look, this is how we're going to play this. I'm going to go downstairs. Because for one reason or another, I asked the bill, I said, is any other way out of here? He said, no. They're in the conference room. It's the only way out is through them front doors. I went downstairs. Me and her brother went downstairs, and my daughter's boyfriend went downstairs. The whole family there. The grandmother, my wife, my other daughter, everybody's there. So when we come out, Jocelyn comes out. When she comes out, she's forced to go upstairs to the restroom. If I'm correct, my wife is still trying to talk to her, and she still would not talk to my wife.
Walk through for these men what it has been for you
This
as
was
a
the funny
father,
part of it here.
natural provider and protector, to have to be cut off from your child.
Men, how many men in here have daughters? I love my daughter. I took her to school every day. I picked her up from school every day. And for your daughter, and it's just not my daughter, it was multiple women. There was the young ladies, from kids to young ladies. That's how he said he raised them. So he changed their mindset. So when he changed their mindset, they're not to talk to no man whatsoever. They get in a cab.
He re-raised them.
He re-raised them. So when they're not allowed to talk to no man, they're allowed to go and bow their head if any man comes up. If I'm sitting there, if she's sitting there talking to anybody, if a man comes up, the man must talk to her handler. They have handlers. A handler is somebody who controls them when the predator is not around.
What is significant, gentlemen, is both of the young ladies come from two-parent households, which defies the stereotype that those who are being trafficked don't come from a stable family environment or absent from any spiritual grounding when both families come from that as whole.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Attorney, I want you to talk about the legal hurdles that you had to go through in order to get to the point where we are now.
Well, I mean, we face a gamut of legal hurdles. First and foremost, the first question was whether or not these women were over age. And once it was determined that they were of age when they met him, we faced a host of issues. And so, like Tim said, 3 years ago when they came in my office, after he called me, I first started to strategize, how can I help? Because legally there weren't too many options. But what we had to do was destroy the narrative that's been surrounding this individual and many cases like this, that these are women that no one cares for, that these are women that no one will fight for. And so we took a outside the box approach, and we started to destroy the narrative. We had to convince men and women across the country to believe what was going on by taking apart the easy predation that's going on right in front of your eyes. So my hat's off to the Savages for opening their lives. And I mean, they've taken a lot of grief, a lot of unnecessary attacks to get to the point, and threats, to get to the point they are. But what we had to do was to change the minds of prosecutors, to change the minds of people in the industry, and to ultimately bring Mr. Kelly to justice. And now he's facing 4 indictments for the situations that women have always said for the last 20 years.
Awesome.
And one thing that one of the young ladies asked Larry that just recently left a few months ago, she said, I asked her, did she ever talk about her family? She said, no, because that would be disrespectful to him. And he would felt that that was disrespectful to him to speak about their family. And if they did, they would get beat.
Wow.
So they were not allowed to talk about any of their past and their family members, sisters, brothers, grandparents, cousins, or whatever that they knew in their past. And they would get beat for that, punished.
I want to ask Dr. Brown and Attorney Griggs, if we were to roll the clock back and even fast forward, what are strategic ways in which the churches can be of help and assistance as opposed to just being a silent witness?
Well, we have to get realistic about some of the people we put on pedestals. This happened in the African American community because we turned a blind eye to a predator who is telling us exactly what he's been doing for the last 25 years. So I think particularly for the church, we need to stop placing on someone characteristics that they're showing you the opposite of. Perfect example. I mean, I Believe I Can Fly is played in almost every African American church around the country when it's the same person who calls himself the Pied Piper. I mean, what is the Pied Piper known to do? Lure children or young people away from their
Hunking
family.
them out of
So
here.
I think
That's
the
enough.
first thing we got to be
Let's get started with the
responsible and
show.
understand
Let's get
that in
started with
order-
the show. You guys know the rest of this. Like I say, I only just brought his name up because I just felt that it was just a little awkward to me that all of the journalists, whatever their title is, when the time comes to do Q&A, somewhere it's very small over, like in the streets. It seems so big, but it's actually really small. And I just looked at it like, this is weird. That was a very convenient an attorney to reach out to join his platform at knowing that he had covered just recently covered the Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's trial in New York. So, I mean, don't run with that. That's just what my eyes kind of see. So, I don't know. I'm put Beauty and Shannon. You could barely hear? Turn up a little more. How's that? That's the. I'm put Shannon and Beauty on timeout. I am. Yeah, you just watch. Now, I just thought that we'll do a little bit reading, having just a little bit of our opinions as we go along with this, the complaint and the demand of what brought Tasha K and Cardi B into the courts. Something that could have not been reconciled through a probably in office with attorneys there, private litigation to decide, hey, let's do this and let's do that. But after one or the other figured that, this case can be brought to trial as long as we feel that the mental damage or punitive damages or whatever is pretty much at, over $75,000. It's like, let's just go for it. One of them decided, bring it on. And the other one said, hey, say less. And because I got 75,000. So they ended up in the court of law with what I think, in my opinion, which I discussed earlier, could have easily been, washed away. Washed away. But at some point, egotistic got in the way. You had a blogger that felt like, I don't give a damn how much money this person has over here as is she a mega superstar? She's got lots of music up on the charts and then won plenty of Grammys out there and everything. And I know that in some sense a person should not feel intimidated by that either. Just because you are who you are and you have all this and you buy 5 houses a year and you give culture, $175,000 2-year-old bracelet that says culture. Should you be intimidated by some things like that? Probably not in this case. I don't think that Tasha K was intimidated by it at all. But on the second hand, however, I think that I would have wrote it down. I tell you guys all the time, get that sheet of paper and you draw that line down the middle and you put your pros and you put your cons. And you may have to write it out. And whichever one sides outweigh the other one, that usually will help you determine a logical decision about which way should I go. And I'm pretty sure after she done wrote out all of the things, she literally have to write out, hey, Galatians, all of the things that Cardi B has done to her. Write them out. What is it that Cardi B has done to me that Tasha K, if it may have been her ball in her court, right? That Cardi B would have done any of this derogatory or repetitive defamation of character. Had it been Cardi B, do you guys think that Tasha K would have taken the same role as Cardi B? Do you think that she would have then switched up the role to become the plaintiff in the situation? And then hard. I mean, it's easy to tell, but I'm not going to say online because I think that, my humble opinion, she would have. Had Cardi B come back and been doing all of this and you and your daughter and your kid and your husband, and I saw him at the bar and he was humping on too. Had all of that been, Tasha K might have ran to the batter up, first to the base first. And be like, no, I'm finna sue you, knowing that Cardi B had plenty enough money to be sued for. But the roles are switched up in this case. And from what I have been watching, and a lot of you guys have been watching, it appears that Tasha K had opened up a can of whoop ass. She made that choice to go up and challenge someone. My live is not working. Really? Okay, hold on. Let me go see what's happening over on YouTube. Give me a second. Yeah, it is. It's frozen. I don't know why.
I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna close that out. I'm gonna keep the other one open. I'm wondering. Okay, I closed that out. Let me see if I can open it up. Reopen it up and see what's going on. I don't know why it's froze, y'all.
So we took a
Yeah, it is. It's frozen. I don't know why. I'm doing okay over here on my other stream. It's active, but it's just not active over on YouTube. We'll figure that shit out and so put it back up. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, let's go. Are we still frozen? Are we still frozen? Let me see. I'm still here. And it is. It's still frozen. I'm still frozen, you guys. Can you still hear me? Are you guys still able to hear me? Let me see. Put a 1 in the chat if you can still hear. Because I don't know why it's frozen. You got, you guys are frozen over on YouTube, but I'm not frozen on my stream. I can actually see you guys. Damn it. Oh my goodness, it's something every freaking time I come on here.